is a double whammy across the pond in two different directions. Musical marvelousness, Queerantine goddesses. Hello, Kisos and Cory Stewart. How's it going?
Hi. In unison.
I
I'm
know that
doing
was
well. How are
perfect.
you doing, Kisos?
I'm doing great. How are you, Corey? And how are you, Venn?
I'm good. You've done this before. You know how to ask hellos.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm a bit chilly today in London. It is very snowy here.
Oh
So
yeah, it was just snowing here over the weekend, and it was so
yeah,
nice and pretty. And I like took my dog out, and she's frolicking, so
lovely.
wholesome.
Toronto, I'm imagining it's snowing all the time, but I don't know
You
if
know
that's
what? Luckily, we have not had the snow,
okay.
but we do have salted sidewalks for the gods. So
Oh,
wherever you walk, it's like it feels as though you're in some sort of salt cave at all times. It's really
that's
magical, and
nice.
it makes me feel closer to the city. And
And if
that's
you need to
really how I
season your
feel about
food,
it,
you
Ben.
just go outside and get a little.
My dog loves getting the salt in his paws. That's
Ew,
always a good
really?
time. Yeah.
Watch it.
Here, well, like everything. So here we're so kind of unused to the snow. Everything just like grinds to a halt. Usually,
Mm,
but because we're in
really?
quarantine, there's not really that much going on. So actually, it's
Right.
quite nice. It's actually just a sort of calm snow atmosphere.
It feels like a
Mm.
Christmas movie.
It does. Just feels like that, kind of.
You're living in Love Actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the holiday.
I
Exactly
think
my
I've
life
seen
right
one
now.
of those.
Yeah. All of our lives.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for both coming to chat to me.
Of course.
We so if you're going to watch this on YouTube, you might sometimes see Kisos's face freezing in a gorgeous frame, but that's absolutely fine.
And that's because he has a terminal illness and we've not talked about it publicly, and we'd like to today with you,
Oh
Van.
God.
It's just, let's get it all out there. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
um, so we'll get into your music. We'll chat also a little bit about Queerantine, which is just I feel like every single guest that I've had in this show has some sort of thing with a connection with Queerantine, some
Yeah,
sort
I
of
saw that
issue
you
Same
with
had Crash
way.
Queerantine.
Divine on too, and like all these other
Yeah,
people. So I
yeah.
love it.
I mean, and I have to say thank you to you because of that's the way that I introduced. That's the way I got introduced to so many of these people. So
Yeah,
we'll
that makes
we'll
us
get
happy.
into that. Yeah, no, it's really cool.
Yeah.
But I guess for those who don't know you, it'd be good to start off with just a little bit about who you are and what's brought you to the place you are right now. Um,
Yeah.
so who wants to go first?
Kiso says.
I'll do it. Yeah. I feel like
Great,
we're in that lane.
go for it.
Yeah, I always tell people it's funny because I didn't really grow up in a musical family. Like no one played music, no one really sang. But I just got into band after I saw my sister play the flute and I was like, this is cool. And it just stuck with it. And then I started singing with like a gospel choir in college. And after that, I just kind of let it flop because I was like, well, you can't, like, who does music? Like, who
Mhm.
in their right mind is like, I'm gonna be a famous musician? Corey, maybe. Um, but I don't know. It just seemed like a thing like that famous people, like, you have to already be famous to do it, which honestly is still kind of true. But
Mhm.
I remember like my grandma one day just being like, how come Kisos isn't doing music anymore? Like, she was asking my mom, and my mom reported this to me. And I was like, you know what? You're right. And so I just like bought some recording stuff, started doing covers, and then eventually moved to New York and did original stuff. And eventually found a community on Twitch that I'm now
Mhm.
super happy to be able to share with everyone else. And that's the Queerantine show that we're talking about, which is
Yeah.
a an LGBTQIA plus music video show that's every Sunday when the season is running. It's Sundays, I guess we'll say, at 3 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m.
Sunday
UK.
church.
Yeah, Sunday church. And yeah, it's just been amazing to connect with more queer artists, more indie artists. Because when I was first like released my debut single, it was like almost 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago. I didn't know it. I didn't know a damn soul.
Mhm.
So, a darn soul. Cut it out. Cut it out. I didn't know a darn soul. Um, so yeah, it's been amazing to really feel like in the last year or two that I've found community, and it's helped me just create more genuinely, or
Mm.
I don't know the word, authentically is the word,
Mhm.
authentically as myself. And also it's just been cool to collaborate with more people because who doesn't want to work with people? And I never had that chance until I started meeting people. So it's
Yeah,
been
yeah,
great.
totally. Yeah, I just feel like it opens the doors so much more of the online sort of community.
Hmm.
And like it's weird because it was possible before this last year, but for some reason
Yeah.
now it's like
It's also,
we can't meet in real life. It's like, oh well, I guess we can't.
yeah, I think it's just you don't know where to start. You know, the internet is so big. So even
Yeah.
though there's so many of us out there, it's just like, where do I go? Where do I start? So, you know, you
Mm,
kind of like plant seeds here and there, but it's definitely been blooming in like 2019, 2020 for sure. And
yeah.
now.
No, absolutely. And Corey, how about you? Is it a similar path? Were you in band as well? Gospel choir?
Um, Not completely. So I always like to say that I started music because I was in my mom's kitchen with her apron on, singing the Christine parts of Phantom of the Opera at like 5 years old. And she was like, well, clearly this little boy is a
Goya.
boy. Yeah, that's
Little
exactly
Goya.
what it is.
Boy.
Clearly this little boy, number one, might be gay. And number two, um, definitely wants to sing. So she enrolled me in singing lessons with them. We have this thing here in Canada called the Royal Conservatory of Music. So I studied vocal lessons from about 6 or 7 up until I would say I stopped around 15. Um, and during that time did a bunch of different festivals across Canada competing vocally, and ended up being able to go to Austria and the UK and sing with a group of people, and that was really cool. And then of course you get into high school and singing's not so cool anymore.
Yeah.
So you know, I did do a little theater because I love musical theater and always have, hence the Phantom of the Opera.
Mhm.
And then, you know, you get forced to go to college, or at least my parents forced me to, because I did not want to do post-secondary at all. Ended up, well, that's a whole other story. But
We can get
after,
into it if you want. That's okay.
no, but after a while, I was like, well, Jesus, like, I still really want to do this. So I was speaking with, actually, you might know, because you're in the UK, Venn, do you know Love Inc., the band Love Inc.?
Yes, I do.
Like
Not
you're a superstar
yeah.
and Broken Bones, they're like big hits of the 90s.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
90s stuff.
because I am in PR, I was working with Simone Denny, who is the lead singer of Love Inc.
Hmm.
And I sent her some of my stuff on a whim because I've always written and like recorded on the side or whatever. And she heard it and she was like, Cory, you need to be pursuing this. It's silly for you not to. So she recommended a producer named Gavin Bradley, who is like an amazing producer in his own right and one of the most sought after in Canada. And for some insane reason, he agreed to work with me. And from there, we've sort of developed. And it's after I released my first EP, I fell into good luck and got to open for Boy George. And
Oh
then it
wow.
sort of has transpired from there. And then I met this foolish man. And it's gotten even better because we've been able to develop this community
Mm,
um, that I, like Kisos was saying, even in the past year feels like a totally different world, because I've noticed personally that being in this rat race that is the music industry, it's very isolating and it's really, really tough on people. And,
yeah.
you know, it can result in people getting really down on themselves, feeling
Yeah.
really alone, and almost, well, no wonder so many people give up, honestly,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's just like, it's awful if you don't have people on your side. So,
Right.
Mm,
with Queerantine, it's been great because the community has all come together to support each other.
mm,
And when people bring up Queerantine, it just makes me so happy because
Mm.
it's something that is not just Kisos, although he was the catalyst. It's everyone joining forces to make this happen. It's
yeah.
not just one person. And I think that's why it works.
Hmm.
And it's been amazing to see. It's been magical. So
Yeah, absolutely. And like, yeah, we will delve into the magic of quarantine. So how did you meet each other? Was it a real life thing, or is this?
No.
Um,
mm-mm.
So me and Corey, it's funny. My first memory of Cory, is me posting something about runs and Cory being like, I don't like runs in music. I was just like, this is your intro to me, and you're not getting good marks. And look
I
at
like
us
to
now.
start a fight.
We're inseparable. But I don't remember exactly. I think I had kind of seen him through the Q reviews, and then I saw him mention something about, and I knew that Kenny loved him, so I was like, okay, let me go check him out. And then Cory mentioned wanting to do like an LGBT music tour, and he messaged me because I, even before Queerantine, was doing like a lot of playlists and like just I love shouting people out. What can I say?
Hmm.
So Cory was like, hey, do you have any, can you help me just like spread the word? You want to take it from there, Cory? Because my brain is devolving really quickly all of a sudden.
Pass
Yeah.
it on.
Pass the baton.
So I definitely instigated a fight with Kisos over Twitter because I like poking.
Because why
people
wouldn't you?
I'm an instigator, and I'm fully aware of that.
I'm very defensive for no reason, so it was a terrible match.
I liken our relationship to like the Paris and Nicole of The Simple Life, where he's the Paris, like the really nice, like one that everyone loves, and then I'm the one who kind of like gets him to do things and like instigates him. But no, we started talking about the tour, and then obviously coronavirus came, and then Kisos wanted to develop sort of a spin-off of this, and that's where he continued to work at making the Queerantine thing happen. And we've sort of always been in touch ever since that point. And I think we first started talking in like December of 2019, and then since then we've sort of, now I feel like we can't get rid of each other. So
For life.
It's,
for life.
What's that word? The hostage complex?
Yeah, it's full
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome.
I'm like
But
Swedish complex.
I'm Kisos's captor
music.
for sure. I'm not gonna lie about that.
But it works. It's symbiotic.
It works really well, and we've all been infected by Queerantine.
Thank God.
We've all been touched by Queerantine.
We're super spreaders. What can we say?
Oh Lord.
So let's get into it right now. So I feel, so for some people like me, when I first came across Queerantine at some point in the midst of 2020, didn't even know what Twitch was. I was like, what is a Twitch? So what is a Twitch?
So Twitch it's widely known as a gaming site, but really, as long as it's not like nudity or like something illegal, you can broadcast it.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually got involved just as a gamer in January 2018, live streaming whatever, and slowly started building a community. And then I realized there were so many people doing music on there. So I was like, okay, I want to learn guitar a little bit better. And then I started doing music on there, meeting all these people, going to like TwitchCon. They have these big like conventions every year, obviously not last year. Actually, I think they had something, but it was all digital. And then I just really wanted to start getting into doing like music beyond just performing. So like I started doing music marketing videos, because I also have a background in PR and marketing and stuff like that. I think that's also why me and Cory clicked so much too, because we're just like, we love that stuff. We love like making something, getting it out there, and just all of that. We love getting, who doesn't like,
we're attention whores is essentially what he's trying to communicate to you, Venn.
You both work in that. You both work in that field also, as well as doing the music making.
So like Cory said, once the tour got canceled due to COVID, I was just like, okay, what can we do? And I was like, let's just do something simple where we're just broadcasting our community's music videos to our community, because each of us have our own circles of like friends and people that we know, but they don't all necessarily know each other. So I was like, let's cross-pollinate this baby. But basically, what Twitch is you can just go on there and you can search through different categories of music. There's people playing sports, there's people obviously gaming, there's people doing art and drawing. It's literally just like a live streaming community. And ever since we've started Queerantine, a lot of our friends that met Twitch as a site through the show have now started, like Jay Gregory started streaming on there, and some other people. So it's been really cool to kind of grow that ecosystem, because also when I started on Twitch, There weren't really any other LGBT music streamers. There were a couple, but they weren't fully as out as they are now. And I was one of the only people who was really like, I'm gay, I'm singing, come hang out. So it's also cool now that like there's more
Mm.
people and like, people bringing the binary on there,
Hmm.
musicians as well. And yeah, it's just gotten a lot more diverse. So it's really cool. But it is definitely can be daunting if people don't know
Mm.
what it is. Like honestly, even with all of our musicians, I don't know if we started doing this yet when you were on Venn, but every week we send everyone a DM of like, Twitch can be a little like intimidating. Here's like, I just like we sent a little. Let's break it down for the
How
audience for
to?
A
the
little
for the how
fact.
to.
That's
Yeah, a
nice.
little
Yeah,
like, don't be scared. Make an account. It's free, and
yeah,
then just click this, and you're good to go.
yeah, yeah.
It's
No, I do remember
appropriate
that.
to the your video is twitching the entire time you're
Yeah,
describing Twitch.
I'm
It's
dancing.
really, you can't write this stuff.
This
This is a
stuff.
switch. So you came out as a robot, twitching.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, no, and yeah, what it is a cool, really cool platform as well. And like you're saying, like Jay Gregory, who was on my show a couple of months ago,
Mhm.
and was talking about how he was moving everything over to Twitch and like just
Mhm.
was so excited by the possibilities of it as well. And like I can totally see that, although I don't use it other than for Queerantine. I can
Mhm.
definitely see the sort of just the community building aspect of it, which is so interesting and exciting.
Yeah. Because it's like live chat, the whole time. Like it's different from like, I mean, I guess you have that on Instagram Live, but on Twitch, people are really going there with the
Yeah,
idea of it being like a long form
right.
content. They're
Yeah.
watching more on like their
They're there
computers
for a
and
long
stuff.
haul
And
Yeah.
situation.
people are invested too.
Mm,
Like when they're watching, you're actually creating meaningful connections with them. With
yeah.
Instagram Live, I find that, oftentimes you'll just see it, click it, and watch it. But people have streaming schedules. And you kind of care about who you're watching too after a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
I mean, somehow I got sucked into coming to Kisos' streams regularly throughout the week.
Yeah.
And I got an email last week. I put in like hundreds of hours just watching this fool on camera, but somehow the time passes. And also, I think Twitch has benefited a lot from the situation we're
Oh,
in,
yeah.
where you don't have those connections with people. So at least you're able to, jump in with someone that you consider a friend and chat with
Mm,
them and engage with them. And he's charming, so it makes it easy, but it's fun. It is.
yeah.
And people
Yeah.
begged us to actually add in extra content. Like
Yeah.
after season, I don't know what it was. I guess after the first season, before
Mm,
the after show started, people were like, "We need like Queerantine is not long enough. We need more. We want to watch for longer." And Corey had actually already suggested, he was like, "I don't know if you're interested in this, but I would love to do like an after show type of thing." So that's how that started. Was like Corey said it, and also everyone was like, "This is too short," because people are used to like 3 hour streams minimum, and
Mhm.
Queerantine's like an hour
yeah.
and a half. So
Right. So
we're
it's
like,
short in the
okay, if
Twitch
y'all want to
world.
watch us for more and give us more love and attention, let's do it.
Yeah. And so tell us. So the show itself is a music video show. So we'll talk about
Mhm.
the after show a little bit as well. But so in terms of music videos as a genre of thing, that's not the word I'm
Yeah.
looking for, but
A medium.
a
Yeah.
medium. Because I feel like there's always this stuff that we're being told like everything's gonna, it's like short, everything's getting shorter, blah 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 blah. But
Mm.
I love the fact that you're celebrating the amount of work that goes into music videos, and where do you? I feel like that's not stopping. And where do you see the future of music videos? That's my question.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think Queerantine gives these videos a chance that they wouldn't have otherwise, not just in
Mhm.
more visibility, but because people are going there to watch the videos
Mm,
versus honestly, even if I'm really close with someone and I love the song, I probably won't watch the whole video
mm,
just because, you get to like a minute and a half mark and that's when your brain is just like,
yeah,
and I noticed that on my own videos too, even like the really powerful official ones that I spend all the time and money on.
yeah.
And I'm sure you feel the same, Corey. So I think
Yeah.
it's great for us to have a platform where we can really, everyone goes there to watch the videos.
Mm,
But I think the great thing that I've noticed is that everyone is overthinking less. Everyone
Right.
is more just like, let's make something, because now it's kind of the barriers of like, even the biggest artists aren't doing, I mean, I guess they've kind of restarted, but for a while,
Mm,
they were kind of just doing a basic at home type
right.
of
It could be
thing. So
easierly.
yeah,
Easier.
easily replicable and do your thing and just get it out there. Whereas before, I personally would also kind of judge, and I never did something on an iPhone, and I probably would have judged people like, "Ew, why are you doing it with that quality?" Meanwhile, now I'm like, yes, come on, send another video next week. So what do you think, Corey?
Yeah, I think that it's really opened up the doors for people to get experimental with how they want to represent their music. And it's become a more acceptable format too, to do sort of the DIY thing.
Yeah.
I think that's great. And for the foreseeable future, that's what we're looking at, right? I think the annoying thing is that they try to, or at least in the past, it's this expectation that you need to dump hundreds of thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but thousands of dollars into video production. And that's intimidating, particularly for an indie artist that, frankly, Queerantine has shown me that there are more indie artists putting out content that's better than some of the people who have hundreds of thousands of dollars of budget behind them in terms of the quality of their music and just the effort that they're putting into their production. And, that's exciting. That's really exciting to see that they're getting a platform and they're being seen because they deserve it. So
yeah, totally. And more creative as well. Like,
totally.
there's no barriers to what people can kind of do if they're independent. So it's like, go wild.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like every week or every other week, I'm like, I've never seen a video like that before.
Yeah,
that's it.
I'm not kidding. And it's just like, wow, amazing.
How many videos do you think you've watched now through Queerantine?
We've switched up the number of artists that we have every week a little bit, but I would say we've done about almost 30 videos, and we've done about an average of 10 videos each. So almost 300 videos at this point, and maybe like 200 to 250 different artists.
And no repeats. I don't think.
Repeats.
Yeah.
Well, repeat artists, but no repeat videos.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Except in our Faves of 2020 episode, which is on YouTube right now.
Yes. No, that's amazing, isn't it? And yeah, of course, bring back those artists as they create more stuff. That's great.
Yeah.
Hopefully a continuous stream of content to watch. Definitely want to check out Queerantine. So now you know what a Twitch is. Go and Twitch. And Queerantine is your first stop, I recommend. Okay, I'm going to record again now. Cool. We're okay to continue?
Yes.
We're feeling centered.
I'm back in my body.
Okay.
So.
You're no longer having out-of-body experiences. Was it like a deja vu situation or no?
It kind of. It was like the last thing I heard you say, Venn, was just saying you were in the chorus. I can't remember exactly. And then Cory came back, and I think for some reason, something about Cory coming back, my brain just like shut off when I say this. My brain just like shut off, and then all of a sudden it felt like I was like in virtual reality, like watching you two talk, and then all of a sudden I just like was back.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Kisos had a stroke, is what we're trying to convey here.
I might go check it out.
Yes. Okay.
I have that effect on people. What can I say?
Oh,
I mean, thank you. You've made my clip for Instagram ready. Thank you. Okay.
You host. I would love to see what I actually looked like on camera during that time. But I was like,
yeah, I don't think I recorded that.
We couldn't tell because your camera's so whack right now.
What's going on?
maybe that's why. Maybe someone's like transmitting to me.
Potentially.
Okay, anyway, we don't want to run out the clock
potentially.
again.
No, that's absolutely fine. So, Queerantine, after show party. Cory, what goes on in the after show party?
Basically,
I mean,
we
I watched
take
it. I just don't know what is going on.
we
point.
take Queerantine and we take it off the rails. So I liken it to, well, everyone says it's like Queerantine untucked. Basically, we bring in a
Which
guest
is a Drag Race reference if anyone
yes.
doesn't
Right.
happen to know what that is.
So essentially, we bring on a different guest every week and go in depth on their music career and actually talk a little bit more about their work and just what they're up to. And then on top of that, we throw in these ridiculous games that make Kisos and I look like fools and our guests look like the star. So
I have remnants from one of our games. You won't be able to see this if you're listening only.
Oh,
but
watch on
this
YouTube.
was one of the gamings. Yes, watch it on YouTube. One of the games that Cory came up with today, or yesterday, I should say, for the last episode was we did paintings using food coloring on our tongues. We did paintings that represented the guest's song, and the guest had to guess if it was their song or not.
Goodness.
That was a beautiful
Wait,
flower.
this is
Cory
you painted
did.
it with your tongues.
I painted this
Yeah.
with my tongue. I'm proud to
Wow.
say,
Oh my
Venn.
God.
And
Wow.
I've always
What a
told I
tongue.
have a talented tongue. But
Lord.
now I can prove it. I have the paintings to prove it. So
When
But
people
yeah,
ask,
sometimes the guest is someone that was like their video was shown during the main show, so it's kind of like a deeper dive with one of them. Sometimes it's it's always someone. Well, actually, I guess this coming week will be an exception because I don't think we've featured secret guest insert name here yet on the show. But usually it's someone who we either are featuring that day, or someone that has been on before, or like a huge fan of Queerantine. So we like to, it's kind of like a little all-star moment too with after show guests.
Queerantine All Stars, love it.
yeah,
Great.
we like to be foolish too, like it's just a chance for us to sort of let down our hair and be dumb. And that's ultimately what the two of us are kind of about. So
That's what you do. Well, in honor of the after show party, I have a little quiz for you.
Oh,
I know.
I love that.
Yeah. So, okay, are you ready for testing Queerantine's knowledge of the United Kingdom?
Oh, yeah. I can do this. I can do this. Don't
Let's
worry.
do it.
I've been to camera.
Okay. First question. Can you name the 4 countries that make up the United Kingdom?
Yes. England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern.
Oh, very
Ireland.
good. That was the trick bit. Great. Well done. Okay, so what I'm going to give you is a saying from each of these countries, and you've got to figure out what this saying means. Okay?
What it means? Okay. That's
what it means. Yeah. So make your own buzzer sound. I don't know. You can decide.
I have a buzzer.
Okay, great. You might have. You've got these things ready.
Yeah.
I'm talking to professionals. I forget.
It's true. Cory, hurry.
I can get one. 1 sec, okay? I can get a buzzer.
Great.
1 sec.
Okay.
You have 10 seconds. This is also a game.
I am, deducting points
You
as
got
we
it.
speak.
Oh, there you
I
go.
got all my dog toys handy, so
There you go.
wow.
Perfect. That's all I'm using.
Okay.
hey, got my hot dog.
Don't make it too loud. Do it from the back.
Great. Okay. Dog toys at the ready. Okay, so we're going to go to my home country of Scotland, first of all.
Okay.
Okay.
So the saying, and then you've got to tell me what you think the saying means. So the saying from Scotland is, it's a bit drie. Sorry.
I came in first. It's yucky outside.
Congratulations. That is correct. Well done.
Okay.
Bonus points if you can spell the word drie.
Nope.
I would say D-R-I-G-H.
Good guess. D-R-E-I-C-H.
Oh,
I think, to be
That
fair,
almost
actually, that
sounds
might be wrong.
German in a way, but
well, the countries aren't too far apart.
got it.
So yeah, describing the weather, basically just describing every single day in Scotland. So that's fine. Always a bit drie. Well, actually, no. The summer in Scotland that I was there last summer was very sunny, so that was nice. It was neat drie. Okay, now we're going to go to England and London, where I currently am. And I'm going to give you 2 Cockney rhyming slangs.
Oh, okay.
My grandfather is Cockney, so this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so number one, Cockney rhyming slang. Gay and hearty. What does that mean? I think
Was
that
I
Corey.
first or was he first?
I think that was Corey. I don't know.
Go ahead. I don't know.
Gay
if this
and
sounds
Hearty.
happy and thick, like healthy.
It's wishful thinking, I think.
Okay.
No, wrong. Kisos.
Okay.
What does gay and hearty mean?
maybe just like a meal that's really filling and tasty.
No.
Like a hot
So
dog.
the bit of Cockney rhyming slang, which you've kind of omitted in your answers, is that it's a rhyme. So gay and hearty means party.
Oh, that's right.
It means party?
Party.
Yeah, because you replace it.
Yes.
So like you take out the word, like I'm gonna
Like,
go to a gay and
I would
party.
Yeah.
AKA
I'm not
a
going to do a
party.
Cockney accent.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got it.
There you
We
go.
got the second
Okay.
I
one.
thought that was quite nice, though, isn't it? So you can have a gay and hearty party. Okay. Number two, satin and silk.
Pints of milk.
Yes.
Is
It was milk, yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, this is the most
What does
proud
he
I've
want,
ever felt.
Ben?
You
So
win.
much- so much
Another
self-love.
question.
You win another question. You win some milk
Dog treat.
posted in the post.
Oh, delicious.
Okay, we're gonna go to Northern Ireland now for this one here.
Okay.
So, if I let's put this in a sentence, shall we? So, Kisos says, "Oh, Cory is really melting my head today." What does that mean?
Driving me crazy.
Yes.
Okay, see,
That's cute.
that actually is going to come up, I'm sure, in the next week. So good to know he can substitute what he normally says with that.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, yeah.
So
I'm gonna show these
melting.
off.
You can say that someone's a melter if they're really annoying.
Oh,
That's
okay, that's a
melted.
good code word. I guess
Yeah.
I guess the UK people will understand us, so we'll
Yeah.
only talk about United States people with
yeah.
that one.
Pure melter, for example.
He's a pure melter. Yes.
Yes, just like that. Okay.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
Okay. Final country, final one. Wales. If I say this, what am I saying? Yakida.
Ta-da?
Not tada, no.
Okay.
Kisos, it goes over to you. Yakida.
Kind of like blase da, just like
Flazida.
blase da. Yeah, whatever the word is.
I'm afraid not. I'm going to mime it to you now. Yakida.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Those were two times.
Okay.
Oh.
I thought you were cupping your breasts at one point, but it's just
Well, I
you
mean,
saying
That could work as well.
Yeah.
Yakida.
Cheers.
Yeah.
As long as it's consensual, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Cup your own breasts.
Yakidami.
Yakida. Yakida.
That was so cute. Oh my god.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I love that. Thank you. That was awesome.
That was hastily put together before this interview.
Love it.
Thank you.
That's how the after
It
show
was
is
worth
put
it.
together
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
our
So
culture.
yeah.
There you go. You know a little bit more about the UK. So as well as your marvelous work on Twitch and Queerantine, as we just discussed. So obviously you make music as well when you find the time between all this stuff. I imagine. And so you've both had a really busy time of it of late with Cory, your album. Congratulations! It's an amazing piece of work. Like really love it. And just
Thank you.
yeah. And as an album as well, it's so great to hear like a full album.
Thank
The
you.
first great one of 2021.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
I think nowadays people just don't embrace albums as much.
Yeah.
So I was really pleased to see that people were giving it the time to actually listen through. It's like, it's long, it's 17 tracks and it's 46 minutes, but I'm proud of it. And I'm really happy that people are responding to it, because I was definitely worried that people were going to say, this is crap and throw it in throw it in the bin,
Throw it
as
in the
they
bin.
say over in the UK. So
Don't be a melter. No, it's great, and you've been getting really good press and feedback, and yeah, how are you feeling about it all?
I'm so grateful. I mean, it there's a sentimentality to the album because it is named after a friend that I lost to stomach cancer
Yeah.
early in 2020, just after the pandemic Lovato hit. And since then, it's been a healing time, but also once I see Tova's name sort of resurfacing in all this press, and also her family was so generous to jump in on some of those interviews, it's been rough, and I won't lie that it isn't, but it's also been a great place of healing for all of us in terms of her memory, and just remembering her, and also cementing something that her daughter will be able to look back on. So I'm
Yeah.
really, really happy about that. And it just made the album that much more precious to me because it has such a sentimentality to it. So I'm very grateful for everything that's come.
Yeah, what an amazing memory and piece of art to kind of have that kind of brings all those things together.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, Cory texted me, I think it was the Friday. I guess it was the day it came out, right? The first full day.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden Cory was trending on iTunes and Tove was trending on iTunes. And it was just like, what a great commemoration for,
Yeah.
your first album, but also for Tove and everything. And it just kept shooting up. So we were partying together separately.
No,
Yes, we
that's
still never met in person, Ben, by the way.
Yeah,
I
that's
just want to
true.
throw that
I
out there.
know. That's really
Yeah.
like I would feel that you've, hung around
I've never
with
seen
each
his
other.
legs. I've never seen Cory below the waist.
Yes, you have.
Have
Oh,
I?
yeah, because when we do Queerantine
That's
games
true.
where I
There's
have
been a
to
couple
get up and show
squats.
that I've soiled myself, then
I've never
you
seen below the
usually will
knees,
see below.
maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
If that doesn't sell the after show party to you, I don't know what will. So we're gonna play two songs from your album on the show.
Amazing.
Some call it a takeover. Some just say, we're just playing two songs. But the two songs we're gonna hear are two collaborations, actually. So
Yeah.
yeah, could you tell us a little bit about each of those tracks?
Yeah, so the first one I'll talk about is Grab the Fire. It's done with Jackson, who is an artist based in Austin, Texas. He is so talented. And we started talking during Pride Month of 2020. And over the course of a few different Zoom meetings, wrote Grab the Fire. And we took it to our respective studios in our respective cities. And this was when the pandemic had kind of calmed down a little bit and cases were low because it was summertime. So we were able to actually go into studios and record, and then brought it back, put it together, mix and mastered, put it out. And it's one of my favorite songs. I think Jackson sounds so incredible on it. And I mean, he's such a sweetheart too. I like working with people who are nicer than me, Venn. So that's been that's been great. The other song is called "End of Me," and it's interesting. Kenny from the Q Reviews had told me about Michelle Mondesir because he knew that Michelle actually lived in Toronto. So at the, I
I
would
know
say
that.
in
I thought
20,
you were friends with her. I thought you knew
no,
her
so
before.
Kenny introduced us, or rather, he told me, and then I found out that Michelle was playing a gig in Toronto. So I went with Amin Desi, who is another artist in
Oh.
Toronto, to
Hmm.
go see Michelle
I chatted
perform.
to him a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we went together to go see the show, and I was so amazed by Michelle's live vocals. I was like, oh God, I gotta get her on something, and I gotta convince her before she finds out that I'm horrible. So what we did was I sent her a song that I was working on, End of Me, and it was good, but like I wasn't loving it. So I said, if there's anything that you could add to this, I would be so appreciative. And then she took it and put her vocals into it and added so many different flourishes. And now I love the song. So Michelle is one to watch out for. She's so talented.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a great tune. I think I knew of Michelle through one of Ripley's online like live things that I think Michelle had featured in that at some point
Okay.
as well. So
Nice.
yeah, no, great. And it's great to hear these collaborations happening as well. I think it's really exciting when they happen as well. And I'm also saying Jackson and Michelle, I'd love to chat to you both at some point as well. If you want to come
I'm
chat
sure
to me,
they'd love to chat with you.
Corey can tell you how it is. So. Great. Well, we're going to look forward to hearing both of those tracks in the show. And Kisos, we're going to hear. So He Didn't Want Me, which you released last year, is that right? But has just
it was
video has
actually
come
December 2019.
out. Okay, cool.
Basically, and then
Yeah.
the video just came out last month.
Yeah, and congratulations on Billboard. I saw that
Thank
happened
you.
recently as well. Amazing. Yeah, a beautiful video. Tell us a little bit about it.
So as I said, the video came out in December 2019, and I had actually written it. It was part of an EP that I released during this past summer called Sweet Nothings, where each track corresponded to a different stage of grief. So you got the acceptance, denial, depression, anger, all of that stuff. And this is the acceptance track. And because the video was coming out so late, and I'm like, I don't think about this person anymore. Like, what do I do? And the song is so sad. Like, it's not a happy acceptance, it's very much about like, oh, I really wish this would have worked out. Like, I get it. It just, he didn't want me. That's basically why the song title is so blunt. Just like, he didn't want me. He would have shown me more if he wanted me. He would have shown me more. He would have told me more that he loved me, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, how can we kind of reimagine this a little bit for a video so it's a little more uplifting? And we had the idea to kind of make it like this candlelight ritual. And then I also had followed this Instagram account that I can't remember the at of, but it's in the YouTube description right now.
Mm-hmm.
But they do all these,
We'll
I think it's Chantar, Chantar on Instagram. And they do all these beautiful, like, I guess you could call it a floral installation, but on a person, where they like are like body gluing it on these people in these beautiful like arrangements. And even though me and my roommates were just kind of DIYing this video and had absolutely no experience in that, I still wanted to try to get some of that effect. So yeah, the whole video is basically representing like a transformation, metamorphosis from and I also shave my head in it. Yeah, it's basically transformation start to finish.
A rebirth.
Yeah, rebirth, transformation, metamorphosis, all of those words, because it was just, I wanted it to represent like the final moments of like, okay, this is over, but here's like the self-love moment. Let me like end the chapter. Let me change myself physically so I can feel it internally. But also kind of representing all of the people that helped build me back up, and communal love and all of those things, because I would not have been okay if not for the people that were around me. So it very much is just a nice, intimate video about self-love and rebirth.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Kisos'
Kisos' videos are really emotionally triggering too, in terms of when you watch them.
Sorry, y'all.
No, but you can really feel the emotion. I mean, maybe you have a career in acting too there, K-Town. But I think it was great to see when the video came out that it was a snowball effect with the press for Kisos too. Like, you got a ton of different hits, including, was it Attitude magazine?
It was
like
Instinct, I think.
Instinct, sorry. Ooh. So but no, and then Rock the Pigeon, like there was just a ton of stuff. So it was awesome to see people noticing how great this video was. And you did this all with your roommate, right?
Yeah, it was literally just me and one roommate. He is a cinematographer, and he had like just bought a camera, so he was like, let's do a shoot. And I was like, okay, here's my idea. Can you do like all by candlelight? And he was like, oh, we'll try it. And yeah, it was very rough. It's surprisingly hard to, candles are surprisingly hot. Like, you think you got these little tea candles.
Spoiler alert.
Kisos, candles are surprisingly hot.
I mean, like, okay, if you look at a candle, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, that's heating up the room. But you'd be surprised how much like 50 or 60 of those little tea candles are like, and also how smoky they get. So it was a lot to set them up, get the lighting. It is a very dark video. Like, we had to lighten up the press photos because the screenshots were so dark. But yeah, it was really cool to also just do something that was contained in my apartment. And my first video was like that too. This had a lot more production value still, although all we really bought was some flowers and candles. But yeah, for whatever video I do next, will finally be not in the apartment, because I've knocked that one out. I've beaten that
Going into the
imagery
outside
down.
world.
Yeah.
Well, no, as yeah, a great video, and I feel it's like you're like practicing what you preach on Queerantine. I feel with like doing it yourself, and also doing something a while after a song was released as well. But you give
that
it.
wasn't on purpose.
But I feel like you're showing that you can kind of the reason for videos is also that they give the song like a whole other meaning and a whole other life as well.
Yeah.
And it's possible to kind of to do that.
Yeah, I do think a lot of people are kind of scared sometimes to release versions later, but honestly, I released an acoustic like earlier January, or on the songs, or maybe that was even November, and I released a dumb remix that I made live on Twitch called "He Didn't Want Me and I Don't Care" remix, where it was also like for the anniversary, just me doing something fun and new like a year later. So I think artists, that's also I guess just a tip for today, is just like do whatever you want and don't feel like anything is ever too late to like give new life to.
Extend the life of your releases and think of different creative ways to, you know, just expose your music to new audiences. I heard an artist called Billy Mick, who's based in Florida, who is Queerantine alum, who said that
one of the definite all-stars of Queerantine.
Totally. He always says that music is new until someone's heard it.
Right.
So in terms of your releases, it doesn't matter when they came out. If the person hasn't heard it, it's new to them. So you can continue to extend these things longer than just, you know, the week that you release.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Wise words. That's why we pay you both the big bucks for the...
Where's my check, Ben?
I think I got lost with the post.
I got it.
No, definitely. I definitely agree with that, and it's, great to keep changing up the music as well for as much as you can. Remixes, acoustic versions, all that kind of stuff. And speaking of acoustic versions and live, influenced by Kane Francesco, who had on last week, who played a live version of one of his tracks. I thought that we could have a little live corner in my show, because that's where I'm really used to. Like before ever doing anything kind of online, like I used to run open mic nights and host like gigs and all. That's a much more of a live person, I feel. So I've kind of had to figure out.
Glad to hear you're a live person.
I'm alive.
I'm pleased.
Don't believe the rumors.
No one's propping you up over there. It's perfect. Okay, good to know.
Check. Get that cleared up. Yeah. So Kisos, I've thrown this to you, and we're gonna hear a live version of one of your covers or something on the show. We will decide.
Yes,
you're gonna hear one of those. But you know, I feel it's quite nice to share a bit of live music on the radio or elsewhere as well. It doesn't always have to be the polished, final produced tracks and stuff. I think acoustic music still has its thing.
It's flavor.
It's flavor.
It's appeal.
It's appeal. All that kind of stuff. Well, thank you both so much for chatting to me. I've had a really lovely time getting to know you a little bit more. A couple of final questions to finish up. Number one, musical or otherwise aspirations for you both. What do you see and hope for in the future? And as the sort of the builder of such an amazing online community, queer community, any tips for kind of building those communities online?
Who wants to start? I guess I'll start.
Yeah, you go.
In terms of music, I mean, honestly, I'm just trying to kind of reel back on everything that isn't music so that I can do more music, because I've been trying to write lately and just it's been a roadblock, mind block, all of that. So I really just want to also give myself the space to release more DIY stuff, because I've been doing like collaborations with producers recently, because I was feeling just like self-conscious of like, is anything I do on my own going to be good enough? I can't think of good ideas. So I'm just really looking forward to just having more fun with music again and doing it on my terms, and also, you know, doing more collabs and getting more press, hopefully, and all of that. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot coming. I just don't know what it is yet.
Right.
And in terms of creating like community online, just anything is a start. Like even if that's just a playlist at first, or
Mm.
Ripley does her big showcases, and Nick was inspired by that. Nick
Yeah.
White,
Yeah.
he started like a smaller one that was like 30 minutes long, where people are just getting submissions from basically our friends, and interspersing either like funny moments or like interview questions in between. I mean, Twitch is a great place to start, or any
Mm.
like live streaming on YouTube, making videos where you're talking about the community, TikTok. Like literally, you can choose any medium. But I would just recommend people to go into it with a genuine heart instead of trying to like grow really fast. Like go with
Yeah.
community in mind instead of like, this is going to do something for me, or I
Yeah.
just want
Yeah.
to use people. Because
Because
to
we
be
can
honest,
smell it.
when I
I
was
can.
first on social media, I was just doing follow backs, trying to work those things,
Yeah.
and it doesn't work. And you know what works great? Being genuine and doing that stuff. And I've
No, totally.
skyrocketed since then.
Yeah. One of my friends who sort of was in London, then was doing drag for a bit, and is now a writer, Ray Lau, who had like an explosion of kind of like followers and Instagram stuff. But like before I didn't really know how to use social media, to be honest. But
Yeah.
and he was just like, well, just think of it as like one-on-one conversations, really, and like you're
Yeah.
just building it one-on-one, and that's all you're really doing. And I was like, oh yeah, and
Yeah.
actually that just changed my approach to it, and not worrying about it so much. So
Yeah, and don't expect people to like follow you back or
yeah,
like be super excited at first, but as conversations continue, you'll notice a lot of people will, they'll be interested. They'll
yeah,
ask you.
definitely. And Corey, how about you? Musical visions for the future?
Well, I'll start with community first. So I think I would echo what Kisos says, but I think that ultimately it has to be rooted in supporting other people before you can support yourself. So look at ways to engage with people and offer help or offer whatever is special about you and engage them in that way. I mean, with you, even Venn doing your radio show and being so generous to ask us, that kind of stuff is, a great way to start building the community. So yeah, it's rooted in support, genuine support, and just not being so selfish, like just going after it and really wanting the connections. Because I guarantee you, the meaningful connections that you make when you're building the community are going to pay off tenfold to, just getting someone to retweet that pre-save, which by the way, does nothing for you anyway. So, like that's the sort of thing to keep in mind. In terms of music direction, I have started recording my follow-up, either EP or album. I don't know which it is. I have
project.
I have a track that is ready to go and will be released in late spring. I'm collaborating with some of the usual suspects that I have collaborated with in the past. I am roping in this guy to do a song eventually. This guy.
Yeah, we're all pointing to each other in different directions.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm roping in Kisos for a collaboration. So, there are things happening. I think the direction isn't important right now for me as much as just like being able to do what I love and to have fun with it. I'd love to tour again, but I mean, I'm thinking that's probably a 2022 goal.
Yeah.
But
hopefully we would be able to do like a Queerantine tour.
That's the
like
dream.
We wanted.
That's the dream, to do a Queerantine tour. Maybe there's a UK chapter and a US chapter and a Canadian chapter, who knows, where we can kind of grab people from all of the different areas. Although I know UK is challenged right now with the touring aspect of things because of the wonderful administration. But hopefully that changes, because it would be such a dream to be able to do that.
Absolutely. And now you know all these sayings, they'll welcome you with open arms. Yaki da.
Yaki da, my gay and hearty milk.
There we go. You're right.
That was dirtier than I thought. Okay, that was an accident, I swear.
Yes, sure. Well, amazing. I wish you both the best of luck with all of those exciting things coming up. And in the meantime, we will catch you on those twitchy Queerantine waves.
Thank you so much for having us, Venn. Really appreciate it.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.